So this is just a quick one on alloy wheel touching up as opposed to like a full refurb. So about a week ago I curbed this alloy really badly. It's the only one on the car that has any curb rash on it. I'll flash a picture up on screen now so you can see how it looked. So I kind of called around, and the going rate around here is about 85 quid to have one alloy refurbished and repainted, which I didn't really want to pay on a daily driver. Eventually all four wheels are going to need a full refurb because, as you can see here, there's some corrosion going on with the paint bubbling around here as well. But for now I just want to make it look a bit better from a distance, and I couldn't really find any good videos on YouTube showing how to do that. So I didn't film this step, but the first thing I did was got some 240 wet and dry and dry sanded the curb rash. So that's how it looks there. After 240 I did 400 grit wet and dry, used wet, so I just sprayed it with water and used some 400 grit on there. And then finally I used some standard car polish, I think it was Scholl S20, on a Dremel with a polishing wheel thing on it, just to smooth it all out a bit. So that's how it looks now. That's not the only area, there's also some down here. I didn't get all the scratches out because, again, the wheel's not in the best condition anyway, but it feels pretty smooth on the finger. There's a tiny bit there as well which I didn't do as good of a job on, but this is kind of the main area here and that feels pretty smooth. These alloys are really old, like I don't think you can even buy them anymore. It's like an old Volvo, I think they're called like Zurak, some weird name like that, and I couldn't find a colour code for it either. So I went to a local colour matching company, took it there and they had a look, and they couldn't get their machine on it. They have like a scanning machine which will automatically match the paint, but they couldn't, it's too big to fit on the alloy. So a lady who worked there came out with loads and loads of little cards of different colours and just held them to the wheel and kind of matched it up. So that's what I got here. That's the code. It's just a generic silver. It's a base and clear coat in one, so it's like a one-step touch-up kit, and it's pretty much a perfect match to this colour despite not being official Volvo paint. So all I'm going to do is paint light coats in these areas, and then what I might do, depending on how it looks, I'll probably give it like a week to dry and then wet sand it at about 2000 grit, something like that, 2500 grit, and then finally polish it with the Dremel and some more Scholl S20 just to flatten it down a little bit. But that's basically all I'm going to do. So I might just end the video after I've done one coat so you get the gist of like what I'm doing. It's not going to be perfect, I'm not looking for perfection, I just want it to be less noticeable from a distance. So we'll see how it turns out. But first things first, I just need to use a bit of degreaser to clean the area before I paint. I use a U-Pole panel wipe, the slow drying one, so you have more time to work with it. So I'll just clean the areas up and then go from there. So that's one coat done. Again, if you're looking for absolute perfection, you need a smart repair really, or a full refurb, but I'll continue to layer it until it's pretty flat and even with the rest of the alloy, and then give it a week and then sand it. That's that other corner bit here. And then for these little kind of black bits and dots and dabs, these little applicators here are really good, so you can just kind of just blot in. But again, the alloy isn't in the best condition anyway, so you drive yourself crazy trying to chase perfection doing this method. But as a demonstration, I'll fill in these little bits here and show you how that looks. So yeah, that's one coat. Again, you're always going to see it. I'll continue to build these up a little bit more so they're level with the rest of the paint, but from a distance it's certainly an improvement, but again, not perfect. So I've just done a second coat, as you can see here, and down here, and then this edge bit. So what I'm going to do is just leave it for a few days to like fully dry, because as it dries it will start to flatten out, and I'll see how it looks. If it's still below the original paint level, I'll add more paint. If not, I'll probably, as I said, wet sand it and then polish it, just to get the best result possible with what I'm working with. But again, I can't stress enough, if you want it to look like unrecognizable, as in you couldn't pick it out, it would need a full refurb and a respray. But if you just want to tidy it up a little bit more so it's a bit less obvious, that's one way of doing it. So it's been a few days now since I first did the layers of paint. I think I did maybe 4 or 5 in total, and to be honest, you could just leave it like this. It's actually turned out really good, a lot better than how it looked originally. But what I am going to do, I'll just show you the zoomed in, there's still a bit of a ridge, you can see here, and it's not completely flat. I mean, there's not a whole lot more I can do with it, but if you look down here as well. But what I am going to do is just sand it with probably 1500 used dry, and then a bit of maybe 2000 used dry, and then finally use a Dremel to, and some like car polish, to just try and smooth it out and get a bit more shine back, because it's a bit more matte than the original finish. It's kind of lumpy because it's hand painted, obviously. As I said, it's not going to look perfect, but from a distance you can't even see where it was applied, and it just looks way better already than when I started. So yeah, I'll probably go with, yeah, maybe 1500. I'll have a look, and then just a tiny sanding block. But I am just going to mask off the original paint so I don't damage it, and then I'll do that and report back. So I ended up just using 1500 and then 2000 used dry, and as you can see, it's far from perfect, and you could spend a lot more time on it and probably get a better finish, but it's a nice day and I've got other things to do. So you can see it's taken some of the peaks off and helped flatten it out somewhat, but that's left it dull. So I'll show you this area as well. So the final step is a Dremel with a wool attachment and a bit of Meg's Ultimate Compound and some eye protection, because I know that's just going to go flying everywhere, as it always does. So just going to see if I can polish these areas up, not using much force at all. The RPM should do all the work, and then try and get some shine to it so it blends in a bit better, and then call it a day. So I'll just get started on that now. Make sure the whole area is clean. I'll just use panel wipe to remove any of the sanding residue. So that's all done. To be honest, the Dremel didn't make a whole lot of difference. You could probably get away with hand polishing if you wanted a bit more shine, but that's about as far as I want to take it. The final steps didn't make a whole lot of difference to the appearance overall. If you're a bit shorter on time or don't have the tools, you could easily get away with layering the paint as I did earlier. Just get it as flat as you possibly can, and then maybe just giving it a quick rub over with some polish, and just skip the dry sanding and Dremel part. So yeah, as I said, if you're looking for perfection, you really should be watching like a YouTube channel of a guy that does this as a profession, like a smart repair guy or a proper wheel refurb company. If you just want to improve the appearance, that's the end result. So can you spot where they were scuffed? You probably can, I don't know, but let's just zoom in a bit. So this was one of two major areas just here, and that's about as good as I'm willing to get it. You would get a better finish using spray paint as opposed to hand painting, obviously, but that does involve masking everything up, but you would get a better finish, there's no doubt about it. This area in particular I didn't sand particularly well, and it still doesn't shine quite like the rest of the rim, but from a distance you'd struggle to spot it. And then the other area is here. It's a good paint match, but because it's not completely level and completely polished, it stands out depending on where you view it. But again, that's where I'm going to leave it. So hope this video helps. I'll take some pics and do some side-to-side comparison. I do have some photos of how it looked before I did any dry sanding, before I painted, because remember it was really scuffed, so I did 240 grit and then I think 500, something like that, to smooth it out before I even started painting. That is a step that you can't miss. You really do need to sand it flat. What I was on about is you can skip the sanding after the paint, because I don't think it really made a whole lot of difference. So, but when it's all scuffed like it was, you really do have to sand it flat or it will look shit regardless of what you do. So yeah, I've got some pics of when it was fresh before I touched it at all, and I'll take some now of the afters, and you decide for yourself if it's worth doing. If your car is like a Minter, like a Porsche or something, you know, something really high end, you probably would want to just go with a smart repair. It makes sense. Depending on your region, it shouldn't cost more than about £80 a wheel, or $100, something like that. If it's a daily driver like mine, and you use it every day for work, it's in car parks, you know, it gets dinged by careless people that park next to you, and if your alloys are already kind of scuffed, then this could be a viable option for you. So cheers. I might leave links in the description for the stuff I used, but it's fairly basic tools most people would already have. So yeah, alright, thanks for watching.